It was the autumn of 2014, and the atmosphere in the world of mixed martial arts was electric. Two names were beginning to dominate conversations. Conor McGregor, the brash Irishman with a razor-sharp tongue and precision striking, and Dustin Poirier, the tough Louisiana-born fighter with a relentless work ethic and a granite chin. Conor McGregor had burst onto the UFC scene like a comet streaking across the sky, fast, loud, and impossible to ignore. He hailed from Dublin, Ireland, where he had clawed his way out of poverty, training obsessively to become something greater than himself. Known for his outrageous confidence and gift for trash talk, McGregor was a showman outside the cage and a deadly technician inside it. His promise? To not only win, but to do so in spectacular fashion, claiming that his opponents fold like a deck of cards under his pressure. On the other side was Dustin Poirier, a gritty fighter from Lafayette, Louisiana, who had earned his way to the top through sheer determination. Unlike McGregor, Poirier was not one for theatrics. He let his fists do the talking. A fan favorite for his never-say-die attitude, he had built a reputation as a brawler who could take punishment and keep coming forward. Poirier entered this fight ranked 5 in the featherweight division and saw McGregor as little more than a flashy newcomer who had yet to be truly tested. Poirier underestimated something crucial. McGregor wasn't just a loudmouth, he was a predator, waiting for the right moment to strike. The build-up words as weapons. The weeks leading up to UFC 178 were filled with tension and endless trash talk. McGregor, in typical fashion, used every opportunity to get under Poirier's skin. He taunted Poirier in interviews, calling him mentally weak and claiming he would crumble when the lights shined brightest. Poirier, though usually calm and composed, began to let the Irishman's words get to him. "I'm going to shut this guy up," he declared in interviews, visibly agitated. He believed McGregor was all hype, just another loudmouth, trying to make a name for himself by insulting real fighters. Meanwhile, McGregor was a marketing machine. His charisma drew fans in droves, and his promise of a knockout made this fight a must-watch. He mocked Poirier's demeanor, calling him emotional and unprepared. "He's a peahead," McGregor would say with a smirk, delivering lines with such conviction that fans began to believe he could predict the future. As fight night approached, anticipation hit a fever pitch. Fans wanted to know, would McGregor back up his bold claims, or would Poirier expose him as nothing more than a brash talker? The fight precision V's. Emotion. On September 27, 2014, the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas was packed to the rafters. The crowd buzzed with excitement as McGregor and Poirier made their way to the octagon. McGregor walked out first, his signature swagger in full effect, draped in the Irish flag, soaking in the atmosphere like he owned the moment. Poirier followed, stone-faced and determined. To him, this was more than just another fight. It was personal. He wanted to silence McGregor, to prove that years of hard work couldn't be undone by a man with a big mouth. As the fight began, it was clear that Poirier was fighting emotionally. He pressed forward aggressively, looking to land a big shot and make McGregor pay for his words. But McGregor, cool and calculating, stayed light on his feet, using his superior movement to evade Poirier's attacks. Then it happened. Midway through the first round, McGregor saw his opening. He landed a crisp left hand that staggered Poirier. Sensing blood, McGregor unleashed a barrage of punches with pinpoint accuracy. Poirier tried to recover, but McGregor's precision was too much. Within moments, the referee stepped in to stop the fight. McGregor had won by TKO in just 1 minute and 46 seconds of the first round. Aftermath contrasting reactions. The crowd erupted as McGregor climbed the cage, arms raised in triumph. He had delivered on his promise once again. In the post-fight interview, he declared, "I don't just knock them out. I pick the round." Fans marveled at his ability to back up his bravado with devastating results. But while McGregor celebrated, Poirier was devastated. This loss cut deep, not just because he had been defeated, but because he felt he had let McGregor's mind games get to him. "I let him get into my head," Poirier admitted later, reflecting on how his emotions had affected his performance. For McGregor, this fight was a launching pad to superstardom. It cemented his status as a future title contender and earned him legions of new fans. For Poirier, it was a humbling experience that would ultimately fuel a long journey of self-improvement. Controversies and the road ahead. The fight sparked debates across the MMA world. Critics of McGregor claimed he had yet to face top-tier competition and accused the UFC of hyping him beyond his actual skill level. Supporters, on the other hand, pointed to his string of first-round knockouts as proof that he was the real deal. Meanwhile, Poirier took time to regroup. He moved up to the lightweight division, where he began a career resurgence, racking up impressive victories and eventually becoming the interim UFC lightweight champion. Years later, Poirier and McGregor would cross paths again, twice creating one of the most iconic rivalries in UFC history. But that's a story for another time. Conclusion, a defining moment. On that night, in September 2014, two fighters stepped into the cage, but only one emerged victorious. For Conor McGregor, UFC 178 was the night he proved to the world that he wasn't just talk, he was a force to be reckoned with. For Dustin Poirier, it was a painful lesson that would shape the rest of his career. In the end, it was more than just a fight. It was a clash of personalities, a battle of wills, and a moment that would be etched in MMA history forever. Would you like a follow-up on their rematch at UFC 257 and UFC 264? That part of their story is equally dramatic.